Zidane Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. Yes, you are getting 2 videos today, so take this carefully, please. don't think that this is going to become a regular thing. But for those of you who are unaware, yesterday the Pokemon Direct released, and honestly, I screamed like a little girl for a little bit there. But anyways, guys, like I said, the Pokemon Direct came out yesterday with the reveal of not 1, not 2, but 3 games for the Pokemon remake for Pokemon for the Sinnoh region. Oh my gosh. For those of you who aren't fully aware, Sinnoh is one of the best regions in the Pokemon games. Most fans who have played a good majority of the Pokemon games actually say that this is one of their favorites. Obviously, Kanto and sometimes Johto will often get overlooked, or will be seen as being like, oh, those are the big ones, this, that, and the other thing. Kanto is usually marked because of the fact that it's got all of the Gen 1ers, and Johto because it was the game right after it, and a lot of people think that it peaked there. But honestly, I think that the majority of people actually think that it peaked at Sinnoh, oftentimes ignoring the fact that Black and White exists, because a lot of people hate Black and White, including myself. A lot of people for some reason don't like the Kalos region, and obviously there's people who don't like Alola, there are people who don't like Sword and Shield, this, that, and the other thing. Basically, the point is that Gen 4, a lot of people will say that the game peaked. And honestly, the way that they're actually handling the remakes makes a lot of sense looking at it. Like, obviously, we don't necessarily expect that they're going to keep it as just the plain game, just upgraded to better graphics and the likes. I think that a lot of people still expect there to be some connection to Gigantamaxing, some connection to Mega Evolution, one of those two things. A lot of people, I think, are still pretty sure that those are going to happen within these Sinnoh remakes. As well as, obviously, Pokemon from the more recent generations will also be implemented, at least to a certain degree, into that of the Sinnoh remakes. However, unfortunately, we're just not going to be able to know until that time actually comes. So, unfortunately, like I said, we're going to have to wait and see how things play out for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which you can absolutely expect me to be playing the crap out of those when they come out. Oh, man. Like many of my fellow Pokemon nerds, I absolutely love Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Pearl was technically my first game that was actually mine originally, because both Yellow and Gold, which I also have, which are the only older games that I have, those were technically my cousins and were handed down to me when she lost interest. So now, yeah, I have all of those. I have both Gold and Yellow, obviously there. But yeah, Sinnoh was my first real generation for me. So, oh, it's a lot of fun. But like I said, with Sinnoh, we kind of have to be careful. Like I said, doing a remake is a dangerous thing. Like I said, Sinnoh is one of those games that a lot of people feel peaked. And the same thing goes for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They don't really think that there's going to be a better Johto game. So, honestly, using those two as pretty much this is what it's going to be, there's not going to be any additions, kind of makes a little bit of sense. But by doing what they're actually doing with Pokemon Legends, it's actually meaning that they can do something completely new and they can test things while also getting a lot of fans into it because of the fact that it's Sinnoh. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a fantastic freaking idea, and I love just the way they're going about it. It's so cool. But basically, what they're doing is uh, they're making frickin' Sinnoh an open world game from what it looks like. Honestly, I think that a lot of fans have always been just wondering, are we ever going to get something that is to the level of Breath of the Wild? Because we all know that Pokemon could do that now, because Breath of the Wild was extremely successful, and it looks like they're actually going to be going down that route, taking the feedback that people give in order to continue to work towards that and make the games even better. And by doing it at the beginning of the year, it gives them enough time to actually plan out everything that they're going to do for the next main series game, as in the next freaking generation. And yeah, by giving them the chance to actually give suggestions and all of this stuff, it will help out a lot. And I actually think that this may be the signs for a frickin' Pokemon World game. A game that has every single region within it, and that you'll actually be able to open world travel in this. I don't know for a fact if this is actually gonna happen, but if it does, that is gonna be freaking insane. Honestly, we've already seen mostly small Pokemon, basically the early Pokemon game, the very early Pokemon, such as Shinx, Bidoof, and Starly in the game. Obviously, we've seen like little glimpses of the other Pokemon around, but it's not to an extreme degree. And by seeing these Pokemon just here, there, and just, there it is, there it is, there it is, that means that we can then use that information to figure out how things are actually going to work. More than likely, what is actually going to happen is that as you collect the different Pokemon around the world, more and more Pokemon start to show up. And you'll be able to expand your it'll expand your village by working with the Pokemon to make things honestly really freaking interesting. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they might actually do something like Poképelago, except that you'll actually be able to go and see your Pokemon just wandering, and it's an insane thought, I know, and I'm getting a little freaking excited just talking about all of the different possibilities that they could have for Legends, because the fact is that they're not really ready to show us everything that this game has to offer for either of these two games. Yes, they're not that far off. Only about a year do we have to wait. But the idea of them being that close means that we should give our suggestions for the games now. Because if they're announcing it, by us giving our feedback on what we've seen in the trailers, it means that we can actually get them to make these changes quickly, and it doesn't necessarily have to be too much. Pokemon following you. I think that is a fantastic idea. But what I think needs to happen is that it has to be something special. Due to the fact that this is an old version of the games, it makes me think, at least, that that in order for a Pokemon to actually stay with you, and actually stay, let's say that you you let your Pokemon out of its ball. If it's in a battle, they're not going to run because obviously they're in a battle. They're not going to be able to really do too much. But if you actually take the time to actually spend with your Pokemon, working with them to actually become friends with them, giving them food, giving them, playing with them, maybe it's like the first or second level, so that it's not like an extremely hard thing to do, because I feel like a lot of people are actually going to want to be able to walk around with their Pokemon pretty early on. But by doing this, it means that you'll be able to bring your Pokemon out and they won't necessarily run away from you just because of the fact that you caught them in the Pokeball. But if you let them out very early on, then they will run immediately, unless they are a... I could actually see lower level Pokemon actually staying longer, like kind of being cautious, walking up to you, not really certain if they should call you their master yet, but they're not necessarily going to start running away. Things like Shinx, Bidoof, and the starters, stuff like that. Which I also have to say that I am really excited for the way that they're handling the starters. By having the starters be Pokemon from different regions, it actually feels like something that we would see in the actual... that what we've kind of been feeling like in the Pokemon world. A lot of these starters, are they actually from these regions? Because why are we getting them so much? Why are we getting these Pokemon? I always thought that these Pokemon should be out in the wild somewhere if they're from this region. Which they are to a certain degree. If you've watched the anime, you know that they're out there. But what I think is actually happening is that trainers have actually seen these Pokemon and have started using them so much that the starters have actually become pretty endangered. And by having children starting out with them, it actually means that they can actually, if they're an idiot trainer and release them, then it just means that these starters will go out and repopulate in the outside world. But it also means that they can actually keep them in a safe location far away. More than likely, there are secret islands in the real Pokemon world that, or in the modern day Pokemon world, that are just populated with starters, and once it becomes obvious what's going, eventually they start to get captured when they're older, when they're old enough, and then they go off to be with their trainers. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not 100% certain. But it's a good way to actually get people to understand what it's like to deal with endangered Pokemon. I don't know. But yeah, I think that this game may become one of the best games that we will see. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if it will be one of the first games that you'll actually be able to have a living Dex that you will actually be able to see in the world somewhere. I would not be surprised if you actually have your own farm that has every single Pokemon that you've caught, and then as you get more Pokemon, the farm actually expands more and more to allow you to get more and more Pokemon. I don't know. It's a crazy idea, I know, but I think that it's really going to be interesting. It also makes me wonder if this is going to be the first game that we are not going to be starting out, or we're not going to be forced to have only 6 Pokemon. That's kind of always been a complaint that a lot of fans have had. Only 6 Pokemon, even years down the line, with almost 1,000 Pokemon, the fact that we can only carry around 6 has always been a weird contention. And the fact that people would actually have to wait for a lot of things, and sometimes they'd have an HM slave, weren't helping things. Now, HM slaves are no longer a thing, though. Woo! But, I don't know. There's a lot of questions that come to my mind, and I really want to see how this game is actually going to handle it, because it's a new chapter. I think that this could be the start of the more mature Pokemon games. The games meant for the fans who have grown old with the series. The fans who are no longer children just playing a game. Now, do I think that these older fans are necessarily going to want to have cussing or whatever you have in these games? No. But I think that they're going to be a more mature subject matter. That kids can still play it, but it's not necessarily going to be as maybe it would be something similar to, say, Star versus the Forces of Evil, or Steven Universe, or The Owl House. Basically, things like that that are a little bit more mature than you think that they should be, but it still technically counts as a children's game. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking, and it looks like they've been paying attention to what fans have been asking for a while. So, yeah, needless to say, I am really excited to see what is going to be in store for Pokemon Legends going forward, both for Arceus and the future games after it. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the next main series game takes a lot from it. So, yeah. I know this video has kind of been rambly, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. I know that I don't really talk about Pokemon much on this channel, but I do actually still love the game series. So, definitely look forward to seeing a little bit more Pokemon coming out soon. Well, basically as more content comes around. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, or even if you just haven't subscribed yet, because it helps out a lot. And, of course, if you do want, if you have any thoughts or theories, please leave them down in the comments below. And if you want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our other channels, our social medias, and ways you can support us financially, including our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny, and of course, head over to our merch store and check out the merch. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!